These programs, which initially started as a way to pull people up, have now been transformed through the magic of messaging and dog whistle politics as actually a way to hold people down. Just listen to the way right-wing media refers to people living in poverty.
True poverty is being driven by personal behavior, not an unfair economic system. In 1963, just 6% of American babies were born out of wedlock. Now, 41% are, and that includes 72% of African American babies.
That's right. Blame the victim and toss in a little racially charged language while you're at it. As author Haney Lopez describes in his new book, Dog Whistle Politics, quote, campaigning for President Ronald Reagan liked to tell stories of Cadillac driving welfare queens and strapping young bucks buying T-bone steaks with food stamps. In flogging these tales about the perils of welfare run amok, Reagan always denied any racism and emphasized he never mentioned race. He didn't need to because he was blowing a dog whistle. Joining me now, Haney Lopez, the author of Dog Whistle Politics, and Heather McGee, Vice President of Policy and Outreach at Demos. Thanks to you both for joining me. So, Ian, I want to start with you and just talk about the book a bit in terms of this idea of, because we've seen, it's just this week where we had this conversation about the war on poverty, it seems to very well fit with the premise that you make in terms of where we saw this shift in our history to more this dog whistle politics.
Absolutely. Here's the basic point. In order for people to have a path out of poverty, in order for the middle class to thrive, we need a government that's geared towards helping the middle class, not a government geared towards helping the rich. But in order to have that, we need to stop being divided by race. And how are we being divided by race? We're being divided by race through a new sort of racial rhetoric that operates in code. So things like welfare cheats, things like illegal aliens. These are terms that are operating like dog whistles. Right. On one level, you can't hear the race because there's no surface reference to race. On the other, they're triggering tremendous racial anxiety. And what they're doing is they're making people afraid of minorities, but also afraid of government. And the result is we have a lot of the American public who sees that the takers in their lives are poor minorities, rather than it being the 1% and the big corporations. Right? We need to change that.